What's good, y'all? What's good, man? It's been a couple topics going around, and that shit just made me think about something, and it made me want to what I'm saying, give my viewpoint on it. As far as like working a 9 to 5, well, I guess trucking is really you working 24/7, but working a 9 to 5 and basically looking at others for inspiration, like as far as getting out of your situation. Like if you're a person and you want to get up out your 9 to 5 and or you want to create a situation for yourself to get out your 9 to 5, these are basically this is basically my viewpoint on it. And yes, I'm working, yes, I'm at work, but I'm also a person this year where I made $100,000 in a day, and I had the opportunity to leave my job. However, that money came too fast for me to. It wasn't time yet. Basically, it wasn't time. I had a whole year. Basically, it happened in March, and I had a whole year to go through that process, deal with the emotions of that, and learn from it, and basically take the process. Now I actually look back at it in hindsight, and I'm learning a lot of things from that. Also putting together, what I'm saying, hindsight is 2020, so you can actually clearly see everything that you did to get to a certain point, and everything that prevented you or came to the downfall of that. So I see what came to the downfall of that, and I also now I have experience and I have the knowledge on how I got there in the first place. So I'm able to go about taking those steps to repeat that process again in an industry where that does not happen often, or is rare, or happens to the top 1% of, what I'm saying, traders or people in this space. So I understand how I manifested that, and I'm not talking about manifestation from the point of, oh, I just wish and hope for it. Like, no, it wasn't no wishing or hoping. It was actually steps taken to get to that point. I ain't just wish and hope for shit. And it's been a whole 3-year process, 3-year going on 4-year process for me to even get to that point. I was on my journey for 3 or 4 years for me to even make $100,000 in a day. So it's not simple like everybody try to make it. Like, yes, you can manifest something, but manifestation is not you wishing in the air for something, and it's thought, speaking, and then it's action, and that's a key component. Action. You cannot materialize something with no action, especially something to that depth. You can't materialize $100,000. But this, I'm gonna create a whole nother video for that particular topic about how I manifested $100,000, and that's for that right there. But this topic is about looking at others around you. That can be basically your co-workers or people that's been working at a job for so long. You take information from other people around. Humans, we are creatures of habit. Our thought patterns are gone in habits. Our subconscious mind is influenced by habits. So whatever was put into our brains, whatever was given to us as children, and all of that, all our thoughts and actions and mannerisms come from what we was learned, what was taught or inherited as children, and those feed into our habits as we get older. And if we don't consciously pay attention to them or consciously step out and look at it, we're not able to rewire that. So there's a phrase: a wise man, a smart man learns from his own experiences. A wise man learns from other experiences, right? So all you got to do is take a step back, right? Whether you work in the warehouse industry, the customer service industry, or like me, I work in transportation industry, right? And I pay close attention to other people. I pay close attention to human behavior. I pay close attention to habits of other people and where that gets them. And I also do that for myself as well. I'm not a perfect being. So looking on the outside, right? everything on a macro scale, everything on a large scale is easy to predict and it's easy to track habits for. That's why you got like empirical science. Empirical science is to the macro versus quantum physics or quantum mechanics or quantum science. Quantum science is on a smaller level, so it's more in the realm of possibilities. And we can come back to that topic later as well, because I like to relate the quantum to the macro. Because the macro, yes, the macro is easy to track. Yes, empirical science and things are more exact, but things are also a possibility, like it is on a on a micro level. But looking at the macro, looking at habits, creatures of habit, right? Habits that's being passed down. If somebody's dad is an alcoholic and their mom has a drug addiction and a child grows up in that household around these examples from a young age, and from a young age this is being instilled in them. When dad is going through a tough time, or when dad comes off of work and he's stressed, he drinks alcohol. When mom faces a hard problem, my mama faces a hard problem, she intakes some type of substance. And as a kid, that's being programmed into your head, like, okay, stress equals drugs, because that's how you see it being dealt with. You don't know any other type of way as a kid. This is what's being inherited onto you, or being learned by you. It's being picked up by your subconscious mind. So when you become an adult and you face a hardship or a hard time, or you come into stress, humans are creatures of habit, so we tend to do the same things. This is what you've seen as a kid, so this is what you're going to repeat as an adult until you consciously come up out of that. So looking at people that's in situations like jobs and things of that nature, dead-end jobs, jobs you don't want to be in, transportation industry, I listen to these people. These people, dads drove as kids. So these people spent 30 years in the transportation industry. Not saying that's bad, not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? Because if that's what you want to do that. But a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people that sit there and talk about they've been in the industry for this long and that long, it's either some transportation industry. Let me use trucking since I'm in trucking. A lot of old truckers like to say, oh, well, stuff not how it used to be. It's not how it used to be. It's not how it used to be. It's not how it used to be in the 19th. They haven't updated their mindset to understand that shit is ever changing. Industries are ever changing. Nothing is ever going to be the same. You know what is going to be the same? Them sitting there complaining about it. You know what is going to be the same? Nothing changing for them, but nothing changing for them besides what hasn't been in a long time. And they're going to continue to do the same thing. They're going to complain about it, but they're going to stay in the industry. They're going to complain about it, but they're going to stay in this way. And I'm talking about people that's not flourishing in the industry, that's been doing this for a long time. Look at people's habits. What do they do? What do they do on their off time? What do they do on their 10-hour resets when they stop in the truck? Oh, I see this motherfucker. They going to sleep. They going to rest. They going to watch TV. This motherfucker over here, when he got home time, okay, cool, fair enough, you're going to spend time with your family. But you're not doing nothing to progress yourself or get yourself out of this situation that you don't want to be in. So I think to myself, like, what is these people not doing? I think about what they not doing, and I think about what successful people do. So I go study great people, and I go study these people who it's really not hard to study because it's habit. It's not hard to pick up. These people are all around. The norm is all around. So it's not hard to pick up what the normal people are doing. Okay, cool. So how can I separate myself from the majority? On a 10-hour reset, this motherfucker watching TV. This motherfucker is being entertained. Or this motherfucker sitting on the phone all day. Something that can separate me. Let me think about that. If I'm on the phone, I need to be having productive and intellectual conversations. Let me replace TV with an audio book. Let me replace TV with learning a skill, because I got 10 hours when I'm stopping the truck. Let me learn a skill or study a skill that's going to help me grow some more income, or that's going to help me become a better person. These motherfuckers sitting in their truck, they look unhealthy when they get out their truck. They sit in their truck all day. Let me bust out 200 push-ups every time I stop for 10 hours. Let me bust out 100 push-ups. Let me do some physical activity. Why? Because when I look at the majority of truck stops, when I go stop at a Love's, a Pilot, a TA, a Petro, any fucking truck stop, the majority of truckers, nobody's outside. They outside, they going to walk inside the store. Nobody out there doing workouts. Guess what? I see a rarity of that. I may come across it once a month or once every 2 months. I may see a trucker out there doing push-ups, out there doing jumping jacks. Guess what? That's rarity. That's rare. That's not what the masses are doing. That is something that'll separate me from the masses. So when you think about yourself, if you have a ambitious mindset, or you have a forward-thinking mindset, or where you sitting in a place where you know you're not where you want to be, okay, think about it. If you're not where you want to be, look at where you at and look at the people that's around you where you at. What are they doing? What are the people around you doing? And just don't do that. Okay, I work at a warehouse job. We work this long. Oh, I work from 9 to 5. When I come home, when they go home, because people talk all day at work, right? People talk all day. They talk about what they do. They talk about what they get into. Okay, look at this person. She talk about gossip all day. She always gossiping when she at work. So I know when she go home, she filling her mind up with gossip. She probably on Zeus Network watching Baddies, Bad Girls Club, and all this other shit, right? Okay, let me not do that. Let me go look at this nigga over here. Okay, cool. When he go home, all he talk about doing is smoking, chilling, eating, all that shit. Okay, I don't want to be doing that. What are these people not doing? I don't hear nobody talk about no book. I don't hear nobody talk about no financial shit. I don't hear nobody talk about no trading, no stock investing. I don't hear nobody talk about no cryptocurrency in depth. I don't hear nobody talking about no side hustle, side business in order to get extra money. I don't hear none of these people talking about that. So I'm about to go indulge myself into that. Because guess what? When I go study people that's successful, or people that's in the situation I want to be in, or people that's not in my situation, guess what they doing? Reading books, looking for different ways to diversify their portfolio, different ways of making money, side hustles, real estate, Airbnb, stock option investing, second streams of income, third streams of income, fourth streams of income, content creation. Okay, cool. Take a minute to analyze your environment, analyze what around you in your work environment, analyze the people that's not in your work environment, that's in position that you want to be in, and then analyze yourself. What can you do to change that outcome? If we're not learning from what other people are doing, what the fuck are we doing? We're not being wise. Okay, you can go through it. If it's nothing to separate you at all, you're going to have the same results as these people. Insanity. It's one thing that you do something over and over and get your own result. But if you do something and you watch other people do the same shit, because one thing is hard for people to do, right? Is look within themselves, right? It's hard for people to really take a step back and look at themselves. But one thing you inevitably see is other people, because that's outside of you. You're going to see other people. So if you can look at other people and see that they doing the same shit you doing, if not doing the same thing that they doing, and they getting their same results, if you can't look at that and be like, damn, what could change the outcome? That's not productive insanity. Productive insanity is doing the same thing that's beneficial over and over, getting that same good result, or getting elevated results, compounded results that leads to a overall, how can I say, better conclusion. But if you're looking at these people every day, pull up in a car, whatever car it is, they pull up every day, They park their car. I don't give a fuck if it's a nice looking car or if it's a beat up car. Guess what? They work at the same place you work at. Even if it's a nice car, you know what y'all get paid. Why the fuck this motherfucker putting up in this? Why they paying notes on this right now? That's way out of their bounds of living. They gonna have to keep coming back to that job. Pull up in their car, walk in there, complete the same job, same task. They leave at the same time, and they go do the same shit every day. All you gotta do is talk to people. I'm a conversationalist. I love talking to people. You ain't even just gotta watch them. Talk to these people. Once you talk to people, you're gonna realize what they own every day, all day. They do the same shit every day. What you about to go do? Nothing, chilling. I'm about to go chill, get some food, watch the game. They trying to decompress from work. 90% of people at your job, 98% of the people at your job ain't about to go home and work on something else. Guess what? You go to your work. Them people, when they get off work, they trying to go rest. They don't make sacrifices to go build something. People not making sacrifices to go, okay, cool. I sat here and gave these people 8 hours of my time, 12 hours of my time, 12 hours of my life, and then I go give myself 12 hours to relax. Instead of putting a portion of that time, whether it's 6 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours, 3 hours, to put myself in a position where I don't have to come back to this shit. Or to put myself in a position that'll relocate me from dependency on this job. People don't do that in masses. These people go home and relax and chill and take that as a rest period, when they should be taking that to develop themselves and build themselves up. And that free time that they have away from their job. Guess what? I'm unloading right now. And I'm taking this time to create content. I'm unloaded right now. I'm taking this time to study charts. I'm taking this time to trade. I'm taking the free time that I have to execute things that's going to help me get away from this. Guess what? Because I had the opportunity at the beginning of the year to get away from it. That was on me. That was my story. I already shared my story, and I could go deeper about that. But that's on me. That's something I learned the hard way from. And I'm taking those lessons and I'm re-executing what I did already. But guess how I got to that point in the first place? I seen what everybody else was doing around me, and I seen what everybody else wasn't doing around me. And I executed on those things. I hop deep into these charts. Because after I come from work, I'm about 5 hours on the charts, 5 hours in the topics of trading, 5 hours on price action and researching stocks and things of that nature. I'm 5 hours on getting something into my brain that's going to help me think better. And guess what? I know these people ain't doing it. And now I have physical proof, because I experienced this, that these people wasn't doing what I'm doing because they ain't get the results I got or I had. And I'm going to continue to do what people around me is not doing, because I know guess what? I know they're not going to get the results, because I know they're not doing what I'm doing. Oh, what? If I knew everybody was taking you taking an hour to focus on yourself? Okay, cool. I'm going to take 5. Because if you take an hour to focus on yourself and you still in the same predicament, I'm going to take 5 now. I want to take 5 hours. I got to do something different.